So the breaking news is that this is via Politico. The headline is Trump tells inner circle that Musk will leave soon. Now, keep in mind, Elon Musk basically told the same to Bret Baier in his interview last Friday, where he said, just so you know, he's been hired as a special government employee. That's a special role you can get as a top advisor to the president, and you only have a term of 130 days. It's basically a way to end around Senate confirmation requirements. Joe Biden did this too. Anita Dunn, that monstrosity, she's a horrible lady. She was one of the key people over at the Time's Up organization that loved to go after any man who was a Republican. But if you were a woman like Tara Reid seeking their help, it was a big middle finger because Anita Dunn was close to Joe Biden. So screw you, Anita Dunn. In any event, she was a special government employee for Joe Biden. And the thing is, to be honest, at the end of that 130 days, they can just renew it. So they can keep it rolling. You actually don't have to leave right after the 130 days. But Bret Baier saw that, we are, I don't know, a month or two away from hitting that point. He asked Elon about it. Do we have that soundbite? I don't know if we have the soundbite. We don't have the soundbite, but here's what he said. I'll tell you what Bret said, then I'll read you the political thing. He asked Musk on Thursday whether he'd be ready to leave when his special government employee status expires. He essentially declared mission accomplished. Quote, I think we will have accomplished most of the work required to reduce the deficit by $1 trillion within that time frame. And then this past Monday night, Trump told reporters that, quote, at some point, Elon's going to want to go back to his company, and added, he wants to. I would keep him as long as I could keep him. On the heels of that comes this piece in Politico that Elon Musk will leave the administration soon. Trump told his inner circle, including members of his cabinet, Elon Musk will be stepping back in the coming weeks from his current role as government partner, ubiquitous cheerleader in Washington, hatchet man. President remains pleased with Musk and his Doge group, but both men have decided in recent days it will soon be time for Musk to return to his businesses and take on a supporting role, according to 3 Trump insiders who were granted anonymity to speak. There's a headline over in the Daily Mail that he has stepped down as the head of Doge. That does not appear to be the case. That is unconfirmed. It feels like, at least as of this hour, that's only the Daily Mail who's reporting that, and that's not in Politico. So we'll wait to see whether that's also true. But I think, look, if it's true that he's going to be stepping down from his responsibilities, or like right now in the weeks before he hits 130, there's a reason for that. And my own guess, without having spoken to anybody on Team Trump, is this has been very hard on Elon. His Tesla stock is down. His company's being attacked. Nobody wants to buy a Tesla now because they're worried their car's going to get vandalized, keyed, the place they have to go to recharge it is going to be set on fire with Molotov cocktails. They have to walk into a Tesla dealership. That could be burned by some lunatic. It's insane. We have hate crime charges now that the DOJ is trying to file against people doing this. But other than, yes, legally, he's being protected by the attorney general. But like, the left is celebrating this. You had Tim Walz, the vice presidential nominee for the Democrats, out there talking about how joyful it was to watch the Tesla stock fall. I'm sure Elon would love to get back. He got a president elected, or at least played a big part. Get back to just trying to solve paralysis with Neuralink, trying to colonize Mars with SpaceX, trying to continue the fight for free speech on X, running the boring company where he's boring big tunnels underneath the earth to get people faster from A to B. And I've missed one. I've missed one of the big ones. I can't keep track. And Tesla, I guess, trying to improve our world for our children with more green energy cars, something the left should like. In any event, what do you guys make of it all?
A couple of things is that, he should have anticipated this. This is not going to work for Donald Trump in the way that he did is not the same, obviously, as going to work for Mitt Romney. It inspires a different level of hatred and bile from people. Look, I have a Tesla. I was sitting in my car the other day because there's street cleaning in New York, and I was moving it, and a guy came up and knocked on my window, and I rolled down the window, and he said, "You got to get rid of this car." And I was like taken aback by it. I was like, so every time I go out, I look to see if it's been keyed. I live in a neighborhood that I think if it was like in the center of Caracas, people would be like, it's a little too left wing. So I'm like expecting the thing to go up in flames at any point. But you're right. Look, in the break, we were just talking about I saw this number, and year on year, I think it was January and February in Europe, Tesla sales are down 43%. I mean, they're down not as much in the U.S., but they're down considerably. The idiot, worst person in the world, Brad Lander, who, if you know anything about New York politics, I know Matt hates him with the passion that I do. He's going to sue Tesla on behalf of shareholders, because of the pension fund and what he's doing to the share price, et cetera. So yeah, he's being rounded on in every possible direction. And I think that, you got to get back to your company. I mean, you're the richest man in the world, but for how much longer if you make a product become, and look, it's just a fact of politics, that divisive. I mean, it's going to be a divisive thing. I mean, yeah. Where we do the Moynihan Report show for Two-Way, there's a Tesla dealership right around the corner. And I went outside yesterday and there was a huge protest in front of it. I mean, it's like pretty unrelenting. And if you are a stockholder, I mean, you've lost a significant amount of money on this stock depending when you bought it,
Yeah. Definitely depending on when you bought it, because the big drop in the stock, like, it's still doing pretty well if you bought it a year ago. But yeah, I mean, Elon's problems here with respect to Tesla are very complicated. I too own one, but I, on the other hand, discovered that, like, my loan to value is absolutely terrible. So I just park it in Oakland overnight, and I'm hoping that someone will actually set it on fire. Yeah. But I'll tell you, once they've destroyed that car, I will go buy two new Teslas.
Hyundai and it would be set on fire in Oakland.
No, you should be in Brooklyn. You should be in Park Slope. You're in the wrong neighborhood now to get your Tesla.
No. In Oakland, we get it in.
Yeah. No, it's just not political.
Yeah. Never you mind. I think they'll get around to me. Maybe I just have to wait another week or so.
That's right.
But I will. Yeah, I will go buy two new Teslers as the president.
Yeah, I love
accustomed to describing them. They at least won't be impacted by the 25% tariffs that are coming. So that should make things a little easier.
What do you mean? It's a day of liberation. You sound like you have a judgment about it, my libertarian friends.
This is the third Juneteenth coming for us now.
It's time to be liberated from
I think it's sad. It's like, imagine living in the time of Albert Einstein, or Thomas Edison, and having them say, I will help solve the nation's problems. I'm happy to pitch in, and saying, no, we hate you. That's what the left is saying. We hate you. We don't need your brain to help us solve problems. Like, I realize he's a controversial guy, and he doesn't speak or opine with a velvet glove either. He's not like super sweet, and I don't understand how people are having a negative reaction to him. It's not like that. But I just think we're so lucky to have someone like that willing to touch government with a 10-foot pole. It's not like Taylor Swift. She got booed at the Super Bowl because she got political, and she alienated half her fan base and half of the country. And when I saw it, did I feel sorry for her? Not at all. You put yourself out there. You didn't need to get political. But in her case, it was utterly pointless. You have no political sway. You just want to feel like you're more important. It's not enough for you to have $1 billion before you're 36. You want to feel like you have more influence than you do, and you found out the hard way that you don't. With Elon, he actually is a very important person to have in the world and in this country. And on top of it, he did help get President Trump elected. He actually did move the needle. I don't think there's any question about that. So it really was valuable to us as a nation to have him get political, unlike Taylor Swift. So he did it. I think he did it for his country. He did it because as a businessman, he saw all the red tape and the regulations we were drowning in and realized the average man could never fight this fight. So he decided to do it. And he's paid a real price for it. And I think the nation should be in his debt. Tariff wars, stubborn inflation. No wonder gold has been routinely hitting all-time highs. In volatile markets like the one we have now, don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. You can take control and safeguard your savings. This is why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group. They have helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against economic instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, text MK to 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, text MK to the number 989898. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, Birch Gold has helped many protect their savings with gold. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess they're trying to unpack right now in D.C. How long will it take to get out of it, and at what cost? Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.